The metagame in Chaos Zero Nightmare is fully figured out, and we're gonna take a look at the top 3 best teams in the game right now.
暁は集った。コナン、イタチ、ヒサメ、サソリ、デイダラ、カクズ、ヒダン、オロチマ、そしてゼツ。
Before we start out, I wanna give an honorable mention to the character Hugo. Keep in mind that he's pretty good, and in case you would ever miss a character that is not a support for the team, you can slot in Hugo and you will be totally fine. Side note here, you have to have the correct support, which is always either Mika or Nia. And if that's the case, you can play Hugo as the sub DPS or the main DPS as you like, and you're always gonna be fine. So keep that in mind moving forward. Alright, now let's jump into the top 3 best teams in the game. And the point where you always start out is you look at the best main DPS characters in the game and you check them out, you see what they need, and you provide them with everything that they need to truly shine. And one of the best main DPS characters in the game is Haru. That should be obvious and no surprise to everyone, as she's our first rate up character. Haru is all about using the ability Anchor Shot. She has to find that Anchor Shot first with the Anchor Pointer ability, which costs 0 AP. She will then boost the Anchor Shot up to 3 AP cost, but make it deal additional damage. And that is what Haru is all about. That is, as you might notice, very AP heavy, as you will use all your AP up with just this Anchor Shot ability that will cost you 3 AP, and that's your AP for the turn. That's why you want to pair Haru together with a support that increases your AP gain. And the best way to do this is to use the character Mika, because not only is she very AP friendly with 0 AP cost abilities that heal, and they provide you with +1 AP, which is, considering Haru's unfriendliness when it comes to AP usage, is a must have, right? You should not play Haru if you do not also have access to Mika to boost your AP. Cool. Now we need a sub DPS for the team, and that is gonna be Cassius. That is simply because he can look out for cards from the draw pile, he can recover cards from the graveyard, he provides you with additional draw, he can even help Mika heal if this is really needed at some point. So this is gonna be the team. You are all about the Anchor Shot from Haru, this ability right here. You do your best to find this ability or recover it from the graveyard, find it out of your deck. You do this with the aforementioned Cassius and his Joker ability, his draw through Devil Dice, and so on and so forth. Then, since Anchor Shot will consume all of your AP, and that would negate the ability from Cassius to use his Joker, to use his Devil Dice, and therefore you need this +1 AP, and this is provided through the ability Source of Water from Mika. There you go. For each team I will provide you with an honorable mention that is not Hugo or even Veronica in this case. Let me find Veronica real quick. This is her. She is also a viable sub or even main DPS if you really wanted to for every single team. She's the worse version of Hugo. So in case you wouldn't have Hugo but you have Veronica, those two are always solid slot-ins. But I will provide you with a character that are not like Hugo or Veronica, and for the Haru team that is actually Kalib, and that is for the very simple reason of Celestial. Celestial makes it so that whenever an ally of Kalib would use a card with a cost 2 or higher, then she plays her cards for free. And this will deal additional damage, that will provide you with shields, and so on and so forth. And this is completely for free, because Anchor Shot will always cost 2 or higher, right? Or 3. So she will play her Vulture Ejection for free. That is very, very beneficial. There's also an additional card here called Rally. For this one, you need the Epiphany upgrade that gives her Celestial. Then, every time you play an Anchor Shot, Kalib will use her abilities Rally and the aforementioned ability, what is it called? Vulture Ejection. This will give you shields, this will give you additional damage, right? This is not the this is just an honorable mention, quote unquote, just an honorable mention, because yeah, the AP plus from Mika or the additional abilities to search out and find your Anchor Shot are more valuable. But don't sleep on Kalib, it's a very good option to pair with Haru as well. And that is gonna be the first team that I wanted to cover. Let's move on to another team. And that Oscar goes this time to Kron. Now Kron is all about two different things. First of all, he's about creating cards of futility, because he can exhaust these cards to boost his damage further. Plus, like this one right here, right? Per exhausted futility, you gain 40% extra damage. Very, very clutch. And he has abilities to create these futility cards. He has a card that synergizes with creating those futility cards. And that is very, very important. Additionally though, his most important skill is the Brand of Annihilation, that deals a tremendously high amount of damage to all enemies, and every time you exhaust a card, you reduce this card's cost by 1. You can see this card costs 3 AP, that would be heavy. So you want and need cards that exhaust. So you play this Brand of Annihilation completely for free and for 0 AP if possible, right? You can do this by yourself because you create these cards of futility, they have exhaust, and therefore you reduce the cost of Brand of Annihilation. Now moving on to another character that synergizes here very, very well, and that character is Tressa, simply because of the ability to create Shadow Daggers. And these Shadow Daggers, they cost you 0 AP and they exhaust, further boosting the probability and making it much more convenient to actually play this Brand of Annihilation card from Kron, which is his main ability, for free. Great. Now you will realize that all of this is quite AP heavy. Here you create 2 futility cards for 1 AP. These 2 futility cards, they will cost 1 AP each. This card will cost some AP here or there because you don't have cards to exhaust available for yourself. That is quite heavy. Then he has 2 abilities with Black Hole and Echoes of True Abyss that cost 2 AP. Right? Then Tressa will eat up this 1 AP by playing her dagger. And that's why, you guessed it, we put in Mika to solve this problem and help with playing these cards of futility that cost you 1 AP by simply giving you 1 AP. And she also provides additional heal, right? This is a very broken character and one of the best characters in the game. So we're gonna go with Mika here one more time. And that's gonna be the team of Kron, Tressa and Mika. The honorable mention for this team would be Cassius to replace Tressa. In case you don't like her or like whatever the reason might be, I will give you an option in case you miss out a character for a team. You can only replace Tressa for this team. Cassius would be a great option for the same reason, right? You add card draw to your team, you add the ability to search out a card from your deck or recover it from the graveyard, and that will make you more consistently be able to find cards that create the cards of utility, or your main damaging ability, Brand of Annihilation. You can find it from your deck, you can recover it from your graveyard, and yeah, having an ability for a team like card draw and search engines is just completely broken, and that's why you can replace Tressa with Cassius, and that's gonna be the second team I wanted to cover. Let's move on to the third team, which is gonna feature the character Rin, also one of the best main DPS characters you can possibly play. And she's all about the Dark Cloud stance and the Dark Mist blade art. And what this leads to in a nutshell is that you will perform a lot of attacks per turn. You will get a lot of attacks out every single turn. She's very AP friendly, because you can see she has abilities like this Drawing Slash or the Dark Mist Secret Art Destruction that costs you 0 AP, and pretty much everything else here costs 1 AP, like this card or the Dark Mist Inner Art. You know, you get the point. You can play multiple cards because you have cards that cost 0 or 1. You perform extra actions through the Dark Cloud stance, etc. And because of exactly this ability to perform so many attacks per turn, you want a character in your team that provides you with a morale boost. And the character that does this is Rei. She has a card here called Predator's Blade that boosts your team's morale by a whopping 4. That is more than any other character would boost your morale in this entire game. And this leads to you that per attack you do, you increase your damage by plus 20% per morale. That would lead to you having an 80% damage increase on every single attack you do the turn that you use this Predator's Blade. And the perfect synergy with this is Rin, because Rin does perform pretty significant of attacks per turn, so she triggers this plus 4 morale for the turn more than any other character in this game would, and that's why these two are an absolute match made in heaven. And again, you can see Rin is pretty AP friendly, and you won't use Rei very much. The ability that you use with Rei, it costs 1 AP. If you use other stuff, you can see she has an ability here, 0 AP. Everything else, as you can see here, costs 1 AP. So these two are very AP friendly. That will lead to us not needing Mika, or at least she is not the best in slot here. And the best in slot support for this team goes to Nia. That is very simple because of draw power. And also, again, being very AP friendly. You can see here, reveal 3 random cards from the draw pile, you choose 1, you discard the rest. Perfect draw power, right? Cycling through your deck, finding the cards that you actually want to play. Here, 0 AP, draw a card, discard a card. Perfect. Here, there's more, right? Activate the top card of your draw pile. There you go, draw power. And the reason why we don't use Cassius here is because Nia provides us with more heal. She's a better healer than Cassius, and this is why she is a better option for the support slot here than Cassius would be. But you guessed it, the honorable mention for this team that could replace either Nia if you wanted to, or Rei, is once again Cassius. This is just again one of the best characters in the entire game, because he makes every single team in this game just much more consistent. He is really like the perfect character for either the healer slot or the support slot, whatever, right? He's the perfect support for pretty much every single character, because every team gets much more consistent as you are actually able to find the cards that you need at the time with Cassius more than you would be with any other character in this game. And if you combine both Nia and Cassius together, in one team. You have the maximum amount of draw power that you can achieve in this game, and yeah, that is very, very good, because you want to find a lot of cards to play with Rin, right? To either make deal a lot of damage just right out of the gate, just like that, or to make even more use of this morale boost from Predator's blade from Ray. And that's gonna be it, guys. To round this all up, here's it all in one picture. You have the 3 best teams in the game on the left hand side, you have their substitutes in the middle, and the 2 general good slot-in characters with Hugo and Veronica on the right hand side. I hope this video was fun and informative. If you like reverse 1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel, I would really appreciate it. But until next time, don't forget to join the Discord server, link to that in the description down below. Take care of yourselves, have a great day, peace and love.